beg your pardon. Hang on one second. Okay. Let me double check the stream, make sure everything looks good. Give me just a second here. I'm using Restream. It's a platform similar to StreamYard. And trying to look, StreamYard doesn't support TikTok, so this Restream fully supports TikTok and YouTube, so I can have one broadcast and shoot it out onto multiple platforms. So giving it a try here. Let me see what it looks like here, or sounds like. Hang on. Yeah, it looks all right. Perfect. Now, I should be on vertical. Okay, cool. I'm vertical and horizontal on YouTube, and then vertical on TikTok. Sweet. All right, let me send this let me share this live stream across my social media accounts. And we'll get rolling. Is the audio too loud? Is the background music too loud? Vertical on TikTok. Sweet. Nah, that sounds good. Almost done here, I promise. All right. Hang on. Almost there. Almost there. So we're going to get into, so I don't bore you to death, we're going to get into the last leaks from final leaks for the upcoming Samsung Unpacked event tomorrow. It's going to be 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Y'all know damn well I'm not a morning person. I think the earliest stream I've ever done is 10 a.m. No, yeah, 10 a.m. And that's because I stayed up all night, essentially, I think. So it's 8 a.m. my time for Samsung Unpacked. I think what I'm going to do is go live at 10 a.m. I'm going to go to bed early tonight instead of staying up all night. And we'll have everything for you because there's no way I'm going to be able to get up at 8 a.m. I'm just going to be honest with you. Definitely not getting up at 8 a.m. So, we're going to go live at 10 a.m. and we're going to discuss, we're going to have a nice long stream. If you're interested in these devices, I'm going to break down the cost, the colors, deals, trade-in offers, where you can get your latest Samsung foldable, the best prices, whether maybe it's at the carrier, maybe it's on Samsung's website, maybe it's at Best Buy. We will break it all down for you tomorrow morning. So right after this is done, I'm going to create a live stream, an upcoming live stream for tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss that. Even if you're not getting one, we'll make it entertaining. And we're going to mix in some other news as well. So let's see here. I should have this shared across multiple accounts here. Let's see. So how's everybody doing today? Are y'all doing all right? Having a good Tuesday so far? Okay, let me share the last one to Facebook and we'll get on the way. All right, I think we're good. All right, so what is going on? Let's see here. Now I'm working this new hang on one second. You know what's hard or not hard. You know what I haven't figured out is how to, because well, you might not know, but when you live stream on YouTube, you have like a whole back end where you can control everything on YouTube. TikTok, there's nothing. Like, I don't even know if I'm live. Like, it says go to your live studio. I'm on my live studio, but nowhere does it say it's. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's weird. Let's see here. Let me go to my profile. Does it even say I'm live? Yeah, it does say I'm live. There we go. Okay, I got it. Sorry. I'm working this all out. What's going on, Jorge Salazar? Okay, so let's talk. Let's get into. Let's see here. Let me share. Give me 1 second, I promise, and then we'll get going. Copy link to my TikTok live stream, and let me go here. Bear with me. Let's see. Let me share that one. So I want to know, are you potentially, you may or may not, but are you at least interested? Are you on the fence about getting a new foldable, whether it's the Z Flip 8, Z Fold 8, or Z Fold 8 Ultra? Are you interested? Are you getting one? Are you not getting one? Let me know, because I'm seeing, at least on TikTok, and I've only been on there for like just over a week, right? There's a lot of Flip users on TikTok, a ton. Seems like they're all on TikTok and not that really, not that many on YouTube. Which, hey, it is what it is. But I think there's a decent amount of users that are excited. I have not seen anybody talk about the Ultra. Nobody. It's either the Flip or the Fold 8, the wide body, right? That's all I've seen. Let's see here. Let me. I have not seen anybody talk about the Ultra. You might not be interested, and that's fine. But I think this is going to be an interesting battle. Between Apple and Samsung. Now, I fully expect Apple to blow away Samsung sales, but here's the thing with these foldables: they get real popular when they launch. You'll hear a ton of people talk about them. You're going to see a ton of videos produced as far as reviews, how-tos, and stuff like that. But after a month passes, you don't hear and or see anything from these foldables when it comes to content creators, at least on YouTube, right? TikTok looks like it's different, but at least on YouTube, it's like people get them and then just forget about them. They go away. So pretty interesting how these devices play out on social media, right? Let's see here. I'm going to be done here in a second. We'll get rolling. Okay. think we're ready. All right, so let's get into it. Enough of this. So I'm going to, on the back end, if you watch this, I'm going to put a timestamp for when it officially starts, and I'm going to put that at the 10 minute and 40 second mark. So let's get started. Welcome back, eSIM Studios social media. I'm on multiple channels now. So welcome back to eSIM Studios. We're on all social media. Interesting fact, Instagram just deleted my account. So I guess technically that's not true, but whatever. eSIM Studios, glad to have you back. Hope everybody had a fantastic Tuesday, the 21st of July, as we roll into the Samsung Galaxy Unpacked event tomorrow, July 22nd, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to be here bright and early, not at 8 a.m., but like I said, probably around 10 a.m. I'm going to schedule a live as soon as this is done for tomorrow, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to review everything. So I want you to subscribe. I want you to tune in. We're going to go over the official colors. I heard there's some new colors here for the devices. Now, we have the normal colors, all the colors we've seen so far. However, Samsung exclusive. Samsung always has Samsung exclusive colors that they always surprise us with one or two. I got a couple of Samsung exclusive colors on some of these devices. You're not going to want to miss that, but I'm going to discuss that here in just a second. But tomorrow, we're also going to review all the other Samsung exclusive colors, prices, trade-in deals, storage variants, maybe best places to get one. Is it at the carrier? Is it at Best Buy? Is it on Samsung? We're going to cover everything for you. So eSIM Studios, we're the home of technology news and reviews. So how is everybody? I got like 4 monitors here, so I got a lot going on here. What's going on? Good evening. How are you doing today? What's going on, Daniel? Yo, this Restream that I'm using is not for Samsung. No silicon carbon battery for Samsung. And here's the thing. They're still working on it. Now, a little late to the party. I'm going to give them a pass. I know they're working on it very, very hard behind the scenes. So it's not like they're just sitting back with their hands, their arms crossed like, oh, silicon carbon batteries. I hope y'all have fun with that. No, they're actually developing their own silicon carbon battery. And look, the last thing they want is another exploding phone. So they're working on it. The R&D team, they're so close to having it. But you can expect right now the new foldables coming out tomorrow. No silicon carbon. Not even on the S27 series. No silicon carbon. That's not going to be introduced until the following year, S28 series. You're going to get, that's when they're going to introduce silicon carbon batteries. By that time, I think you can expect some pretty good charging speeds. I think they're going to increase the speed even a little bit more. And you can expect longer battery life. But that's also a bummer for you, because if you're planning on getting a foldable, maybe you do have a phone that has silicon carbon in it like I do, and you freaking love it. I know there's a lot of people that have not experienced that yet, but trust and believe, it makes a difference. So we're not just touting this cool name, silicon carbon batteries, ooh, ah. No, it makes a difference. So, but that means the foldables aren't getting it until, so if the S27 series is not getting it, that means, let's just say a Z Fold 8's coming out, right? Well, that would not mean the Z Fold 9 is not getting it. It means you're going to have to wait until the Z Fold 10. Sucks, but if you're holding out because of that, I get it. You might still do that, but I would expect them to fully have it integrated here in the 10th generation of Samsung foldables. Are they going to have the Flip by then? I don't know. We've all heard the rumors that this is the last year of the Flip. But they'll definitely put them in their foldables. Take Motorola Razr Fold, for example. That has a 6,000 milliamp hour silicon carbon battery. So the tech is out here. If you really want one, I mean, there's phones out. The OnePlus 15, the Razr Fold, the Signature. And a bunch of the Chinese companies, the Oppos, the Vivos, all of those typically have silicon carbon. Even Motorola's mid-range phones like the Edge 70 Pro and or Pro Plus, that's a $500 phone. It's got silicon carbon batteries in it. So it's a thing. Yes, Samsung's late to the party. Apple's going to be super late to the party. I don't expect Apple adopting silicon carbon or their version of silicon carbon for another few years. So Samsung will be the latest to adopt. I say latest, I mean nothing is still here, but I don't know if they're going to convert to that. I'm sure they will at some point. So, but companies like Apple and Samsung are in a very peculiar situation because they sell an ungodly amount of cell phones every year. The simple fact is there's just not that much silicon carbon to go around. There's just not that much silicon carbon to go around for them to source it and then put it into batteries and then put it in their phones to sell. We're talking hundreds of millions of phones. There's not that much silicon carbon. So what Apple is working on, but what Samsung is really working on, is their own version of silicon carbon. Because what silicon carbon does in the batteries is they cram these ions. It's more dense, super dense battery, but you can get more ions in a battery. So if you have the same size of batteries, like if you have two batteries that are this size, this one's lithium ion and this one's silicon carbon, well, on the same size, you can get a battery. You can get like 1.5 times the amount of ions in this size with silicon carbon than you can with this size with traditional lithium ion. So they're hard at work designing their own version of it so they don't have a hard time sourcing it for future phones, right? So that's what's taking them so long. And again, we all know what happened to the Note 7. So look, it'll come. It'll come. But don't expect it anytime soon from Samsung or Apple. Nothing. That's another story. They don't sell as many. So, maybe they'll put it in theirs. I have no clue. I hope they do. I really hope they do. Hey, what's up, brother? It's good to see you here. Imagine the price. Woo! Yeah. I'm sure the prices, look, they're not going down anytime soon. So, in fact, they'll unfortunately probably continue to rise, which sucks for us. I know they'll probably be, I don't know, 15% more expensive, 20% more, shoot, maybe even more, unfortunately. It's just one of those things where, but, like I said, and here's the thing that we'll probably get in tomorrow is if you are looking to upgrade, look, there's pros and cons between upgrading when the launch event happens and then upgrading 6 months down the line, right? I'll hear both cases. My personal opinion is it's better, at least for me. Everybody's different, right? Everybody's situation's different. Everybody's money situation is different. But for me, it's better to upgrade when they come out, not just because I'm on YouTube and or social media, but because I have last year's flagship device and you get the most for trade-in value if you have last year's flagship and you're upgrading to the new flagship. If you wait a year, 2 years, the value drops and then you're just going to end up paying more at launch for the upgraded device or the device you're going to buy, the new one. So I'll hear both sides, but again, for me, I like to get obviously the newest, latest device and get the most value for my trade-in. So, and a good thing with Samsung, here's another great thing with Samsung that I think, where did we hear this? I think Google is making the transition to the upfront money. They'll take that value off of the top of your phone. And then so you don't have to pay the entire price of your new phone, your $1,400 phone up front. They'll actually credit you whatever your trade-in is, and you just pay the difference. So if they give you $700 for your trade-in, all you have to do to get them to ship the phone to you is pay the $700 difference. But you better ship them your trade-in, or they're gonna knock you for that $700. But that's traditionally been the best way for me to do it. Plus, they give you a little discount, right? I mean, yeah, if you buy, I'm also going to get a watch, but not for me. But we're going to get a watch as well. Hell, I may get some earbuds. I don't have the new Galaxy Buds 4 Pro. I just have the Buds 3 Pro. So I'm going to get a little bundle tomorrow. And traditionally, that's what I've done in the past. It just works out best. And if you don't do upfront, meaning when they launch, of course you can catch a sale every now and then, but they'll go back. I think Samsung did this for the S25 series, maybe 8 months ago, something like that. They did if you purchase a brand new, let's say S25 Ultra last year, they would have the Unpacked Event deals with trade-in deals. I've only seen that like maybe once, maybe twice, and it's so unpredictable, you don't know when to plan for it. So if you buy used or the price, this memory crisis thing, the used phone market really not dropping in price like it has in the past. I mean, even Android devices, typically in the past, Android devices, after 4, 6, 8 months, 10 months of usage of that device being out, the resale value would tank. In fact, I've purchased a couple of phones in the past, well, more than a couple, where I'd wait 6, 8 months till the prices drop and to buy one. Well, with the memory prices, man, it's the retail value of these used phones are still pretty freaking high. I mean, just you can hit up Facebook Marketplace and search for a OnePlus 15. They're still $900, $800. Any device. They're holding their value, which means if you don't purchase at this Unpacked event, and let's say you wait 6 to 8 months, well, shit, you're still going to be paying $9. If you want to get a Z Flip 8 and it's, let's say, $1,300 tomorrow, but you don't want to buy it, you're going to wait 6 months, right? So let's say 6 months down the line, well, okay, the retail value is aftermarket. It's going to drop a little bit, but it's still going to be $1,000, $1,100. So, and if you buy it off market or aftermarket, meaning not at launch, nobody's giving you a trade-in deal. Nobody's giving you a trade-in value. I mean, you may find one at a random retailer here or there, but Facebook Marketplace, nobody's giving you trade-in. You're gonna have to pay that $1,000, $1,100 all at once. You see what I'm saying? When you could at Samsung Unpacked event send them your trade-in device. Now I don't know how much they're giving for Flip 7s. I'm guessing $1,000. Now in the little fine print, it said up to $1,230. Now that's for if you're buying a Z Fold 8 or Z Fold 8 Ultra, and that's for if you're trading in last year's flagship Z Fold 7. I'm sure that's the maximum value. So we already know that they're going to give you up to $1,230. But what about the Flip 7? I'm guessing it's going to be $1,000. I don't know. That would be insane because last year it was $1,000. But I think they're going to try to help potential buyers. I think they're going to give us a little boost on trade-in values to try to entice us to purchase something. That's what I'm guessing. At the very least, I think it's going to be $700. At the most, I think it's going to be $1,000. So if this device is, I don't know, $1,300. If they give you $700, you have to pay the $600 on top, plus trade in your phone. But and look, everybody's situation is different. That's what we get back to. So it all depends. But I want everybody to tune in tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to break down all of this. All of this I'm going to break down. So the colors, Samsung exclusive colors, which we have a sneak peek at a couple of these exclusives that we're going to get into. But we're going to break down the trade-in deals. Is your best deal on Samsung? Is it at Best Buy? Is it at the carriers? We'll go visit the carrier website, see what their deals are. Because, T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, they'll have trade in any device in any condition and get a free Flip 8. Maybe you want to go that route, which I've been trying to stay away from. I think we've done a good job of not going the carrier route because they try and lock you in. And be careful, T-Mobile, they don't allow you to pay off your device early anymore. So they essentially lock you into a 3-year deal. Man, oh man. Let's see here. Let's see. Imagine if you had to choose a phone today that would last the next 3 to 4 years and run all the programs out. Then what do you think the phone would be? OnePlus 15, hands down. The S26 Ultra will do that. But I would say the OnePlus, just because it has more RAM, it has faster storage, it has better. Literally every spec on the OnePlus 15 is better than the S26 Ultra. So if you're talking about longevity, and I know OnePlus is going away, I know, but they're converting it to Color OS. So you're essentially going to have an Oppo phone, which is fine. They're going to support it. They're going to fully update it. I would say OnePlus 16. If you're OnePlus 15. If you're talking about longevity, again, if you're going to have a phone for 3 or 4 years, you're going to want the very best specs to future-proof your purchase, right? Meaning you're not going to have to go, like we make these mistakes with laptops, or you buy a laptop, you're looking for a good deal. You don't want to spend that much money. Okay, it's okay for the first 6 months to a year, but in year 2 and year 3, man, it gets bogged down. It gets, starts stuttering, buffering. You get the stupid buffering logo. Nobody wants that. So if you're talking about longevity, you're going to have to get flagship. Now, can you still run a mid-range phone in 4 years? Yeah, but will it run nice and smooth? Probably not. Because in 3 to 4 years, Bluetooth 6.0 is going to be a thing. In fact, we'll probably be on Bluetooth, 6.4 by then, or 6.3. See what I'm saying? Or Wi-Fi 7. I'm a big proponent of Wi-Fi 7. Well, in 3 or 4 years, everybody's going to have Wi-Fi 7. So you don't want to have a device that's stuck on Wi-Fi 6, do you? I sure as hell don't. So those are little things that I'm talking about where if you're going to keep a phone for 4 years, I would suggest getting a flagship phone. And these little things like this, you have to look into. I know a lot of people, like, I'm guilty of it. Impulse buying. Oh, the Nothing Phone 4A Pro. Oh my God, I got to go get it. Well, my dumbass, I didn't check if it has Wi-Fi 7, if it has Bluetooth 6.0. I assumed it did, but I didn't check. And boom, what do you know? When I get it, it blows. It sucks. I had network issues. Send it right back. So, it's stuff like that. But look, the signature will, and again, updates. You got to think about updates. Signature will be good. It doesn't have the elite CPU, but it'll be just, trust me, there has no issues whatsoever in the CPU department. So again, even the S26 Ultra, it'll be fine in 4 years. All right, it'll be just fine. Even though it only has 12 gigs of RAM, but you can boost the RAM expansion to give it essentially 20 gigs of RAM. But remember, I would also get a device that at least you're probably going to want like 12 gigs of storage if you're going to hold on to it for 4 years. Any of the flagships out right now, OnePlus 15, Motorola Signature, Motorola Razr Fold. But with these foldables, side note, which we're going to get into, you got to get insurance. You have to get insurance. It's a must. Out of the 7 flips that I've had, I've busted 3 of them. And they weren't all that, of some kind of spectacular fall or anything, or I didn't fly out of a car, or get dropped in a construction zone and run over by a street sweeper. No, it freaking fell onto my wood floor from 21 inches from a side table and the screen busted. A wood floor. And we're not talking about concrete. We're not talking about from 6 feet high. No, fell from a side table, got knocked off a side table. Boom, on a wood floor. Boom, the screen busted. I'm like, oh. Right then. And you know what? I did not have insurance, but check this out. It was on day 13 of my 14-day return window. How lucky did I get? And I called them up and I was like, hey, because it fell on the wood floor. So there was no scratches. There were no marks. I called them and I was like, hey, my screen just went black. I don't know what happened. I'm like, okay, we have 1 more day to return it. So just as long as you return it tomorrow, you'll get a refund. And I was like, whew. Thank God. Ever since then, insurance, insurance, insurance. And here's the thing, and a lot of people don't think about it too. Insurance is more expensive on foldables. And that's the whole reason why. I think for my Samsung S26 Ultra, I think I pay, I guess I could go look, but I don't want to waste your time. I think I pay like, what is it? I don't know, but I think foldable insurance is $14 a month. Maybe 17, something like that, 14 to 17. And I think for my S26 Ultra, it was like 10 to 12, I think. So, but you have to get it. Like, I wouldn't even consider using one unless you get insurance. Because here's the thing. And on another one, we have a cat here. On the other, I think this was on the Flip 7 or the Flip 6. The cat claws, it was laying open, folded open. And I think my cat was, I don't know what they were doing, jumping from here to there to here. But their claw touched on the screen of my phone. And these foldables don't have glass displays. I mean, on the outside they do, but on the inside, it's essentially plastic. So their nail caught inside the screen. And I was like, holy shit. Little things like that, people don't ever think about. And I immediately made a claim, went to, U-Break, iFix, something like that. They had it fixed within a day. You know, it's little stuff like that where people don't think about that you're going to need insurance, hands down. Wish I could find a good deal on a OnePlus 15 so I can add it to your collection. They're out there. They are out there. That's how I got mine. Look, don't be in a rush. There's plenty of them. I'm not going to say plenty, but there's enough to go around where just be ready, be ready to buy. Here's what I do. I have a couple of devices I'm looking for in specific, and some that I just scroll to see what's available. But I'll spend a good, 15 minutes per day checking Swappa, Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, OfferUp, eBay. And every now and then you can jump on Amazon and look for the used phones. It's like a little link. They don't really display it that well. Oh, in Best Buy. So it's like 5 or 6 places, and all it takes is a few minutes every single day. I'll jump on there. Boom. I have them in a little collection folder on my phone, and I'll just see, are there any good deals? Are there any good deals? And just boom, 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 boom. You don't want to waste too much time, but I check it every day. And every now and then, if I see one, boom, I'll jump on it. So there'll be a crackhead out here looking to get their next fix just to screw, or somebody needing to pay a bill real quick. That's some of the best deals, honestly, that I've come across. But they're out there. Now, here's the thing. If you really, really, really want the sandstone one or a specific color of a phone, here's the dilemma. Maybe you find a good deal on a black OnePlus 15, but you really, really wanted the sandstone or sandstorm OnePlus 15. It's like, damn, should I jump on that deal or should I pass and wait for the sandstorm? Because they made way more black devices than sandstorm. So I've always wanted sandstorm, but it's one of those things that you're gonna have to decide: should I get this or damn, should I wait a minute or a day or what I'm saying? Who knows? Could be a month, but. Yeah, it is what it is. It's those dilemmas, right? Hey, I'll be the first to admit I am a phone addict. I will admit it. I am a phone addict. So I know those dilemmas. I'm like, should I wait? Should I not? Sometimes I'll buy, if it's a really, really good deal, boom, buy it and then flip it. And then just flip it. You know what I'm saying? Buy it and flip it. So, let's see here. So I wanted to get into, so let's do this. Let me jump on, there is an article from Sammy Fans. It's a little, not a little publication. They've been an online publisher for, I don't know, 10 years. They're a really, really good source of online information. All they all they cover is Samsung news, Samsung reviews, Samsung products, Sammy fans. You could Google it. But no need to right now. Do it after the stream. I'm going to do it for you because we're going to check out their website. They have listed some of the Samsung exclusive colors for some of these devices that are coming tomorrow. So, because look, especially for the Flip that I'm interested in, there's three colors, three main colors that like all the carriers are going to have: the black, the white, and the pink, right? And then Samsung, as you know, will have Samsung exclusive colors that you can only get them on Samsung.com. Those are the colors I'm after. Now, it sucks because every year or so they'll have Samsung exclusive colors that are like girly. I'll pass. I'll go. I would rather just go with plain black than getting some freaking pink phone or something. So it looks like I might have to do that this year with the Flip because the two exclusive colors I've seen, look, they're not well, one is girly. One you could pass, but you know, some guys don't like to be even questioned, if you know what I mean. But let's see here. What let me pull up the article to give you these exclusives, or if not, let's see here. I saved the article. Let's see. Unpacked 2026. I think it's in this one. So we're getting a look. They have this really good article. Let me pull it up right here. Here are 12 big announcements that we're going to see tomorrow at Samsung Unpacked, right? And trust me, this month is all going to be about Samsung. Next month, August, it's all going to be about Pixel because you get the Pixels in August, and right around a day or two away from my birthday. And then September is going to be all about iPhone. So let's see here. Let me share the screen. And let me split the screen. How is that? Okay. So check this out. Damn, did I link this? I don't think I did. Let's see here. You're looking for a OnePlus OpenQ? Yo, one of my viewers had one. I don't remember if they were trying to sell it, but they're out there. Now, that reached end of life, but you can flash a custom ROM on it if you want. I haven't done that in a while, but it's certainly possible. So look at this. Let me remove that so y'all can see. So here are 12 big announcements we can expect tomorrow. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Samsung exclusive colors, at least for the Flip, are on here. And if they don't have the exclusives for the Folds, we'll do a quick search real quick and find out. Let's see here. So, yeah, we all know we're getting smartphones, right? And here are the latest confirmed specs. So the Fold 8, the new wide body, the new wide, dual 50 megapixel rear camera system. We did think the wide was going to get the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge cameras, which is a 200 megapixel sensor that's on the S26 Ultra, and then a 50 megapixel ultra wide sensor. That's not the, well, I guess you are getting the 50 megapixel, but they're not putting that 200 megapixel sensor that you will find on the Edge. They're actually putting in a twin 50 megapixel rear camera system. Look, these cameras are not going to blow anybody away. We all know this. Now, that's one of my gripes with Samsung. That's one of my gripes with buying a $2,000 phone is they don't even put the best hardware on there. Like, again, I'm not a foldable person. I love the Flips, but I just can't do the folds. This is one of the reasons why. If I'm going to be spending $2,000, I better be getting top-notch shit on my phones, and they're just simply not doing that. So I'm like, okay, like, I personally would rather go get an Oppo Find X9 Ultra, right? I'd rather use that than a foldable. That's just me. Like I'm not that ooh and odd over a folding display. I like the flips are different. Again, I don't know. I just love those phones. But the foldables, Samsung's gonna have to do more because look, I'm sure it'll take decent pictures, but so again, like I said, it's not gonna wow you, right? But look, as long as you know that and you're okay with it, you know, okay. So it'll have the twin 50 megapixel rear sensors. Now, here's one thing that's different from the Fold 7. So on these Fold 8s, whether it's the Fold 8 Wide or the Fold 8 Ultra, you're getting the full octa-core Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. Hang on one second. You're not getting the 7 core like what came on last year's Fold 7. Remember they took a core out of the CPU last year so it doesn't overheat? This year, you're getting full 8 cores now because it's more efficient. So that means you'll be getting more power. And they're increasing the battery size. But I don't think charging is confirmed, is it? Hang on, I got to plug my PC in. Damn, I don't think I have it plugged in over here. Hang on. So you're getting the full 8 octa-core CPU, which is good, right? I was in favor of doing the 7-core CPU, just like what came in the S25 Edge, 7-core. I like that because it wouldn't overheat, right? And I had issues with overheating in the S25 Ultra, so that's why that was a major concern of mine. Getting the Edge didn't overheat. Let's see, for the Ultra, you're getting the 200 megapixel sensor, but this is I must remind people, this is like a 6-year-old sensor. So don't get too excited. Oh my God, 200 megapixels. It's the same 200 megapixels that's in the S26 Ultra. Not going to wow anybody, but it is what it is. That's what we're getting. And then you're getting 250 megapixels. So you're getting 200 megapixel main shooter, and you're getting a 50 megapixel ultra wide. And where's the third sensor? I believe you're getting, is it the 200 and then 50 and 50, I believe. So they're missing a camera on the back here because the Ultra is going to have 3 sensors. You're getting an upgraded 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Now, here's the thing. A publication came out yesterday and said the battery life, now we'll have to wait and see. Well, I'll need your input if you're going to get the Ultra. They said that the battery life on the Z Fold 8 Ultra is supposed to be at least 25% better than the Fold 7. Now, I've heard a lot of complaints online in regards to the Z Fold 7 battery life, that it just absolutely sucks. Maybe the case. I would know, I don't have one, but they're saying that this one's supposed to have better battery life because they've increased the battery size slightly. And it's going to have a more efficient display. This is going to have the M14 OLED panel, which is 73% more efficient than the M13 OLED panel. And you're getting a more efficient CPU. So I guess theoretically you should get better battery life, but we'll have to wait and see. You know how this goes. You know, they can say one thing and then real life it's something else. And obviously battery life depends a lot on what you do on your phone. A lot. You know, but I guess time will tell. You're getting an increased vapor chamber as well. And then on the Flip series, you're getting a split CPU. So in the United States, if you want now this is the very best part, and this is why I'm upgrading. The Z Flip series, if you've had the last 2 flips, the Flip 7 and the Flip 6, they've had Exynos CPUs in them. And let's face it, not the best. Right? Like, didn't really wow me at all. and it did not get T-Mobile's new 5G network or AT&T's new 5G network. The release 18, Exynos and the modem in the Exynos doesn't pick it up. That's why I'm so excited for them putting in the United States. Samsung's putting the new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 CPU in the Flip 8. It also has the new X85 modem, which gets T-Mobile's new 5G network, AT&T's new 5G network. So this is great. This is the best thing that could have happened if you're a Flip lover. And you may not even be aware of kind of some of the behind the scenes stuff, or, you know, the modems in these CPUs. Do they pick up the new 5G? Do they not? This is a big deal. So take my word for it. If you are ever on the fence about getting a Flip, this one is the one to get. That's why I'm getting it. I originally was not, but now after seeing all this, I'm like, yeah, it's time to get one again. So, and in other regions in Europe, sorry, y'all are getting the Exynos CPU. Sucks to be you. But I think the only Flip 8s that are getting the Exynos, the only Flips that are getting the Snapdragon CPUs is the United States and South Korea. If you're anywhere else in the world, you're getting an Exynos. So if you're in South Africa, you're getting Exynos. If you're in Poland, you're going to get an Exynos. Australia, Exynos, which sucks. But maybe you could jump on eBay and find a Snapdragon 8 Elite, a US version or South Korean version, and you're going to get the Snapdragon variant. So you're getting an upgraded battery. You're getting 50 megapixel main sensor. And here is the big news for today. If you're a potential Flip buyer, online exclusive colors like mint and lavender. Now, the mint color, I think they had the mint color in the Flip 7 from last year. Was it last year or the Flip 6? I can't remember. One of them, or maybe it was an S20. Well, I think it was an S25, no? That had that mint color, like the light green color. Looks pretty nice. But lavender is a weird choice for a Samsung exclusive on the Flip series because they're already going to have a pink color. So the carriers are getting black, white, and pink Flips. And then on Samsung.com, you can get black, white, pink, but they're also going to carry mint and lavender. And lavender, I'm assuming, is going to be more purple kind of looking color, which, look, I'm glad Samsung is embracing women purchasing this phone. And it's kind of funny because I'm such a Flip fan. I've been on TikTok for the last week. I have not seen one guy with a Flip. I just realized that last night. I'm like, is this like a girly phone, quote unquote? Because I haven't seen any guys with this Flip. So I'm like, well, I'm definitely not getting any fruity colors. People might start to question me. But I'll probably get white. I think I'm going to stick with white. I've had the black in the Flip. I just never had a white one. So I think I'm going to go with white. So you're also getting watches. So we are getting these new Galaxy Watch 9s. Now, there's not off the top, you're going to see these new Galaxy Watch 9s and you're going to be like, was it the S25 Ultra was lime green or light green or mint green? That's pretty nice. With these new Samsung Galaxy Watch 9 models, at first glance, you might be like, I don't need to upgrade. It's just a refresh, no big deal. Well, you're going to want to look at the fine print because it's in the details is where you're going to see the upgrade. Samsung is not only upgrading the Flip series to a Snapdragon CPU, Samsung is also upgrading these watches to Snapdragon CPUs. And that is music to your ears. If you haven't had the best experience on let's say a Watch 7 series or even the current Watch 8 series, if you haven't had the best experience, more than likely it's due to the CPU. Samsung put Exynos CPUs in their wearables for the last few years. I think, in my opinion, it kind of sucked. Every now and then, a little laggy, a little jittery, not the smoothest operating system. Look, this is going to just change the game. It's going to turn the wearable game for Samsung upside down in a good way. The new Snapdragon wearable CPUs are freaking phenomenal. I did some research into this yesterday and I was blown away. So I'm really, really excited. Now, one issue we've been having are the sensors are not that accurate on Samsung watches. We've tried the classic model and we've tried the standard model. Haven't tried the Ultra, but the Ultra has the same sensor. So I didn't want to waste money on buying an Ultra if it had the same exact sensor, same exact CPU as the classic variant and the standard variant. This year, I haven't found any information saying that they were going to upgrade these sensors on here on these watches that that tell your heart rate, your all that stuff. But something as little as changing the CPU can change everything. It can control that sensor and it can be way more accurate. So you're definitely going to get a smoother, faster experience on these wearables. I've heard that they're going to upgrade. See, just changing the CPU will do this. They're going to increase the refresh rate on the display of these on the display of these wearables. So you're going to get a nice, smooth 120 hertz refresh rate on a smartwatch. Because right now I think they were at 60. So this new wearable chip is freaking incredible. So if you're on the fence as well, maybe you have a 2-year-old Watch 7 and you're like, I don't need to upgrade. It looks the same. It may look the same from the outside, but inside it's completely different. So keep that in mind. You might want to get one. I think it will be worth your time, possibly worth your money, but we'll have to see once reviews come in. I think it's going to be a very good thing. Hang on. My cat wants to join the live stream. Let's see here. Galaxy Watch 2 Ultra, nothing new. New CPU, that's about it. But like as I mentioned, that's a good thing. New Galaxy Ring, likely edition, Galaxy Ring 2. I don't know how true this is. I haven't seen any leaks. I haven't seen any FCC certifications. I haven't seen anything. So you know how Samsung does it where they'll launch these foldables. We're definitely getting wearables. We're definitely getting phones. But towards the end of the Unpacked event, they'll say, well, look what we've been working on. And they show some stupid trailer for some new product, right? It's probably what they're going to do with the new Ring 2. Probably what they're going to do with the Samsung Galaxy smart glasses. Now, they have the Galaxy, what do they call them? XR? It's like the Apple Vision Pro, whatever they call it. They have that for sale right now. I don't think anybody's bought it. But they're also coming out with frames like Ray-Ban, Meta AI. I don't know. I'm not really into that stuff. Maybe I will be in the future, but right now I just whatever. But they're gonna tease. Samsung now has smart glasses that they're gonna tease. They're also going to potentially launch something we haven't really talked about: new tablets. So it looks like I think we are going to get the phones, get the watches, and then get new tablets. So I've seen the Samsung Galaxy Tab S12 did pass FCC certification. You know what that means? If they pass certification a week or two right before they're officially announced, probably means they're going to start selling them pretty soon. So I think we are going to get new Galaxy Tab S12s. Now, I think they're going to do it like last year where there's not going to be a... Actually, you know what? Is there a Plus model? Because in the past, they've always had a small one, a Plus, and an Ultra. Last year, they did away with the Plus and just had the small and the Ultra. But I think the one that went through FCC certification, I think that one was the Plus model. So I don't know what Samsung's doing. Let's see. Samsung Galaxy Tab S12 FCC, and then go over to news. Tab S12. So it was just the regular S12. Let's see. Tab S12, that went through FCC certification. Nope. We've seen renders of the S12 Ultra. So it does look like we're getting tablets. I don't know which ones. We're definitely getting a small S12 and a S12 Ultra. I don't know about the Plus, but I'm kind of in the market for looking for one. But we shall see tomorrow. Galaxy Buds. Now, I don't think they're going to release any new ones tomorrow because they just released new ones with the S26 series. But Samsung is working on new buds that I think they're going to tease. Have you seen those buds? They're really weird. They're like a nose ring, a bull ring, nose ring, and how some people have that bull ring, right? Or it's in your nose. Well, they have something similar. You might have seen these. It's like a C, and it has two buds on the end of each C, and it fits inside your ear like this. Like one part goes in your ear that plays the audio, and the other part wraps around the back of your ear. But it's like an earring right here, like a C earring, but it's a bud. So I think Motorola has some now. I know some other audio companies sell them already. But Samsung's going to get in on the mix, and I've seen renders of those. So they are working on that type of style. I just don't think you're going to see them tomorrow as far as to purchase. But I think they will tease something of the sort tomorrow. And if you are interested, they'll probably launch them here in the next few months. I don't know. New software in Galaxy AI features. Who cares about... To be honest with you, who cares, right? No, do we use AI that much? I certainly don't, but you might, but I don't really. I use one or two things, and that's it. So One UI 9, these new devices, these new foldables, the phones are going to launch with Android 17 based One UI 9 right out of the box. Right out of the box. So you'll have, just like last year with the foldables, you'll actually have the latest and greatest Samsung software has to offer. Even better than on the S26 Ultra. Now, S26 Ultra will get updated to One UI 9, I don't know, in a month or two. But if you're getting a foldable, you'll have the latest and greatest from Samsung software. And One UI 9 is also coming to watches, Gemini Intelligence, and Android advancements that we'll just have to wait and see. Don't really have any updates on that so far. But it should be interesting. So interested in seeing that. Let's see here. Any new information? Oh, I wanted to see if we could find out, before we get out of here, I wanted to see if we can find out any new colors. Exclusive colors. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, doesn't look like it on here. So what I'm going to do is search for Samsung because we already know the Samsung exclusive colors on the Flip, but I want to see if we can find any for the folds, and it looks like we might have one here. Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 features an online exclusive pistachio color. Again, why are they going the Google route and giving these colors different names? Like pistachio, are we talking about the actual pistachio nut? Are we talking about the shell? There's different shades. I've seen pistachios that are darker. I've seen pistachios that are lighter. Why can't you just say light green, dark green? Whatever. So apparently that's new to me. Maybe it's new to you. Now, this will only be available on Samsung.com. Now here's another one. Samsung exclusive foldable color options. Exclusive color for the Z Fold 8 Ultra, violet green. And there is a very dark green tone. So it looks like they're going off of this green color. Now, we've got two exclusive colors for the Flip, but you may or may not get two colors for the Folds. Like, you might just have one exclusive color for the Fold 8 and maybe one other exclusive color for the Fold 8 Ultra. I don't know. They could have two exclusive colors per device. They could have three exclusive colors per device. Just a couple of years ago, I can't remember what launch it was, the S24 Ultra, maybe the S25 Ultra. They had like 3 or 4 exclusive online colors to choose from. I think they're going to tone it down as far as offer how many exclusive colors they're going to offer, just because when they make a whole new color, you have to make a whole new set of SKUs, of models. The more colors, the more models you make, the more money you have to invest in manufacturing. Remember, Samsung Mobile is losing money this year, so I think they're going to take the smart route and try to reduce the amount of overhead, their production costs. I think they're going to reduce it. I don't think you're going to see any more than maybe 2 Samsung exclusive colors that are going to be offered. So, but it looks like they're on this freaking green theme. It says you can also, this is on the Fold 8, the wide body, you can also choose from the standard retail colors like graphite, cream, and lavender, and then this pistachio color, a green color. So, man, I don't know why it's so hard for these companies to nail a good color phone. Like, it seems like every single year a new device comes out, every single year we're disappointed with colors. So, but there's always D brand. There's always D brand. You can always put a skin on it. You can always put a skin on it. Now, before we get out of here, let me see, am I missing anything? Do y'all have any new information? Yeah, it's very popular with women. I don't know why. I don't know. Prices are going to be crazy. Yeah, they are. I know. And that's why I'm not getting it. To be honest with you, if I'm going to spend $2,000, the closest thing that I would even consider is the Motorola. That's because they spec it out. And that's what they should do for $2,000. So, I have used Z Fold 6 after 1 year. My screen has green lines. Don't buy first generation wide Fold 2. It sucks. We shall see. Hopefully you had insurance, because that would, well, you know what? If there's no signs of damage, you can get that replaced from Samsung under warranty. So, I mean, there is that. But yeah, I've said in the past, typically I try to stay away from first generation products. I've said that plenty of times, that it's typically like with the second go around, the second generation of a brand new product, a brand new model, a brand new SKU, that they seem to iron out the kinks. And that goes for any company, not just Samsung. I'm talking about Apple, Motorola, even cars like with a Mazda or a Ford. Second generation is usually when they iron out all the kinks, when they get all the little things that pop up that they didn't think of during testing phase. You know, all sorts of stuff, little things pop up when you can test a couple thousand units, but when you put out a few million units, you're going to have stuff, come up that you didn't even think about. And they'll go back into the drawing board for that second model, that second generation, and they'll go fix and fine tune all the stuff that they didn't think about or anticipate happening. They'll go back to the drawing board. They'll redesign this, redesign that. And what do you know? On the second gen, you have a pretty good model. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I know a lot of people are going to buy this Z Fold 8, but keep that in mind. You can file, if you have green lines, that is replaceable under warranty, I think, for at least 1 year. And then, like I said earlier in the stream, you got to get insurance. You have to. I'm not using a foldable without insurance. So just keep that in mind. I love the clip style. Wearing them right now. Oh, really? I've maybe it was the one. Maybe I didn't have. I think I tried. I can't remember where I tried it. I can't remember. I just remember having something like that in my ear, and so I guess since it doesn't have that, maybe Samsung will be different, but it doesn't have that silicone tip that seals your ear, right? So I can't remember where I was, what type of, it was something like that. I think I was testing it out for, oh, you know what? I was testing it out for Tozo, or yeah, I think anyway, it's an audio company. They sent me some to test out. I was at a store or something, and I was playing music, right? And I remember reaching out and grabbing something, and the person next to me was like, "Oh, I like that song." I'm like, "Huh?" Because when I'm in public, I'm on my business, whatever. I'm in my own zone, right? And they're like, "Oh, I like that. I love that song." I was like, "Are they talking to me?" And then they looked at me, and I'm like, "Huh?" And like, "Yeah, man, I play that all the time." And I like, hold up, let me pause my music. I'm like, what'd you say? Oh, I love your music. I'm like, damn. So they can hear like what I'm playing in my ear because it's not sealed off, Maybe Samsung fix that. I don't know. Maybe I need to turn my music down. I don't know. But I always remember that. I was like, huh? I'm looked like I had seen a ghost or something. I'm like, huh? You talking to me? Because I'm so used to having silicone tips. I can play my music loud as I want. Nobody knows what I'm listening to. Not that like I'm listening to anything crazy, but it's just funny. But we'll have to see. Open ear clip-on buds. Interesting. Well, Samsung is coming out with some. Again, probably not tomorrow, but I think they're going to tease them, so to speak. And look, I'm sure Samsung makes, in my opinion, the best. Well, I'm not going to say the best, right? I haven't tested all of them, but my favorite audio products as far as earbuds go. I've used Galaxy Buds forever. I just love them. So I'm sure their products are going to be top notch. So we'll have to see. I don't know if they do have a little. And look, you could find some aftermarket stuff, like on those Galaxy, the beans. I know they don't call them beans, but what are they? Buds Live, Galaxy Buds Live. That didn't have a silicone reinforced tip that holds the audio in. You could go on Amazon, and actually aftermarket companies make a little sleeve that you could put that little Galaxy Buds Live, the one that looks like a pinto bean. You could put it in this little sleeve, silicone sleeve, and then insert it in your ear, and that kind of held the audio in. I'm assuming there's probably some aftermarket companies that do the same thing, especially with these, because they're going to sell a ton of these. Yeah, I'm serious. I'll never forget that. It was like, I don't know why. It's just a random experience that I've always thought about and laughed at, when you think about stuff in the past. Because it took me a second. I was like, what? I was like, I know you're not talking to me. And they were talking to me. And anyways, stupid. Yeah, but I'm going to get out of here. I really appreciate the time. Remember, if you're on the fence, if you're thinking about getting a foldable, maybe you're thinking about getting a watch, subscribe to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel and or now TikTok page, profile, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm on TikTok now as well. Link should be down below in the video description. Subscribe. I'm going to cover this extensively. When I say extensively, I mean extensively. If you watch all of my content here over the next few days, you're going to know if you should get one, if it makes sense, where you should buy it, where you can save the most money, how much you're going to get for your trade-in. I even have a trade-in hack that I'm going to reveal. Yes, you heard me right. A trade-in hack that I'm going to reveal tomorrow. I'm not going to reveal it now because I need to actually go do my hack right now so I can get the best deal on my trade-in and my upgrade. But join me tomorrow. I'll explain everything tomorrow. We're going to go live. I think it's 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. and probably done by around 9, possibly 10. I think I'm going to schedule a live stream for around 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I may still have bedhead, but hey, we'll go live. We'll break everything down. But I'm going to place my order right before I go live just to make sure I have everything set in stone coming to me so I can focus on the stream. I made that mistake a couple times a year or two ago where I was like, let me go live and then I'll pre-order my phone. Delay. If you don't order it right away, you might see a delay, or the color you really want has a delay, but then the color you really didn't want is like, hey, we can deliver it to you on Monday. I'm like, damn it, I didn't want to get that color, but that happens too. Let's see. I'm thinking of trading my Z Fold 7 for the Z Fold 8 Ultra, but I have been conflicted because I want the S26 Ultra 2. I miss my S25 Ultra with better battery and camera. And the S Pen is not going to work on these foldables. I'm sure you're well aware of that with the Fold 7. Again, one of the many reasons why I don't get a foldable. What's the point? And again, I'm not sure if you caught most of the live stream, but yeah, I have a big problem with spending $2,000 on a phone and they don't even give you the best specs. Now, I know no phone is perfect. There's always going to be something you could upgrade or something you could improve upon. But I don't know, it's just something about a $2,000 phone and they're not even giving you the best sensors, like camera sensors. So don't get me started, but I would go for the S26 Ultra, but that's just me. Now, you said you wanted the Z Fold 8 Ultra, which is going to be ultra expensive. I'm sure you're well aware of that by now. I think the base, we don't know, but that's why come tomorrow, we'll have all the information for you. Everything will be confirmed. I think the Fold 8 Ultra starts out at $2,300, and then if you want the 1 terabyte model, you're looking at $3,000. Maybe that's not a concern of yours, but for many people it is. My personal opinion, I would go with the S26 Ultra. Battery life's going to be longer. You do have a better camera system, S Pen support, and it is a pretty big screen. I mean, what is this? 6.8, 6.9 inches. It's pretty freaking big. It gets brighter, so that's just my opinion. But come join me tomorrow. We'll break down the prices. We'll break down trade-ins. We'll see how much you can get for your Fold 7 for the trade-in for the Fold 8 Ultra. We'll break down, is Best Buy your best option? Maybe T-Mobile, maybe a carrier is your best option. Join me tomorrow. I'll have everything figured out for everybody. So I will schedule the live stream as soon as I'm done here. Make sure you subscribe so you get notified when I go live. And tomorrow is going to be fun. Tomorrow will be fun. So I appreciate your time. Please, everybody, have a safe and enjoyable rest of the day. You're also going to want to subscribe because we do giveaways all the time here. All the time. I just think there was last month we did 6 or 7 days in a row of a giveaway. They typically try to do 1, maybe 2 giveaways per week, but you got to be subscribed. And who knows, maybe we'll do one tomorrow. Wink, wink. We're also going to have cases. I'm going to do a lot of case reviews for the Flip 8. And I'm going to do case reviews for the Fold 8. And I know you're thinking, Fold 8? I thought you said you're not getting a Fold 8. Well, I'm not. But a case company came through for me. I just got in touch with. They're going to send me a device that I can do case reviews on, if that makes sense. So if you're thinking about getting a Fold 8 or Fold 8 Ultra, I'm going to have all the case reviews for that. Case reviews for the Flip 8. Here at eSIM Studios, we do it all. We're everything technology. So appreciate your time. See you tomorrow. Please be safe. I'll see you in the morning. Don't be late because I probably will. It is what it is. I'll see you in the morning. Peace.